Hey everyone, welcome to Excel Insider. Today we will learn 3 different ways to perform sensitivity analysis in Microsoft Excel 365. Sensitivity analysis shows how changing inputs affects results and helps test what-if scenarios in Excel. In this tutorial, we will be working with financial and production models to understand how changes in inputs affects the results. Our goal is to use data tables, goal-seek, and solver to display detailed what-if analysis results. Let's get started. In the first method, we will determine the units to sell for a target profit using the values in column B with the help of goal-seek tool. To get started, let's set up the profit model. First, in any empty cell of your choice, like cell B7, type this formula. Equals cell B2, which is the selling price per unit, multiplied by cell B5, which is the units sold. This will give us the total revenue. Press enter. Next, in cell B8 or any empty cell, type this formula. Equals cell B3, this is the cost per unit, times cell B5, which is the units sold. Once these values are multiplied, this will give us the total variable cost. Press enter. Then, in any helper cell of your choice, like cell B9, type this formula. Equals cell B4, which is the fixed cost, plus cell B8, which is the total variable cost. Adding these two will give us the total cost. Hit enter. Finally, let's find the net profit. In any empty cell, like cell B10, type this formula. Equals total revenue, which is cell B7, minus total cost, which is cell B9. This will give us the net profit. Press enter. With the profit model setup done, now let's use the goal seek. Go to the Data tab, head to the Forecast section, and select What If Analysis. From there, choose Goal Seek. In the Goal Seek dialog box, for the Set Cell field, clear any existing text and select cell B10, the net profit. Next, for the To Value field, type 15,000. This is the target profit. Now, for the By Changing Cell field, select cell B5, which is the units sold. Then press enter. Excel will calculate and give us a solution. In Goal Seek status dialog box, Excel finds a solution for our desired target profit. Press OK. There you have it. Goal Seek found the number of units needed to reach the target profit. Let's check out the second method. In the second method, we will find the best mix of mountain and road bikes for maximum profit using the solver tool. Let's dive in. Before we begin, first ensure the solver tool is enabled. To do that, right-click on any tab at the top and select Customize the ribbon option. Excel Options dialog box appears. In the left menu, select Add-ins. On the right-hand side at the bottom beside Manage, select the drop-down and choose Excel Add-ins. Then click on Go. This opens up Add-ins dialog box. In the dialog box, make sure to check the box for the Solver add-in. Then click OK. This installs the Advanced Solver tool onto the Data tab. Now that the Solver tool is enabled, let's set up the production model. First, in any helper cell of your choice, like cell B10, type this formula. Equals cell B2, which is the profit per unit for mountain bike, multiplied by cell B15, which is the cell for target production of mountain bike, plus cell C2, which is the profit per unit for road bike, multiplied by cell B16, which is the cell for target production of road bike. Now press enter. You may see here the cell is empty. This will give us the total profit later. For now, it's blank. Next, in cell B11 or any empty cell, type this formula. Equals cell B3, which is the labor hours per unit for the mountain bike, multiplied by cell B15, which is the cell for target production of the mountain bike, plus cell C3, labor hour per unit for road bike, multiplied by cell B16. Once again, the target production for the road bike. Press enter. This cell will give us the total labor hours used. For now, it shows 0. Then, in any empty cell of your choice, like cell B12, type this formula. Equals cell B4, which is the material per unit for the mountain bike, multiplied by cell B15, which is the target production for mountain bike, plus cell C4, which is the material per unit for the road bikes, multiplied by cell B16, which is the target production of the road bike. Press enter. Again, it shows 0 here, but later this will give us the total material used. Now, let's use the solver tool to find the optimal product mix. To do that, head to the Data tab. In the Analysis group, select Solver. This opens up Solver Parameters dialog box. Click on the Set Objective field, clear any existing text, and select cell B10. This is the total profit. And then ensure the max is selected. After that, click the By Changing Variable Cells field and clear any existing text. And then hold the Control key on your keyboard and select cells B15 and B16. These are the cells for target production of mountain bikes and road bikes. Release the Control key and then click Add button to create the first constraint. Add Constraint dialog box appears. For the cell reference field, select cell B11, which is the total labor hours used. For the next field, click on the drop-down. Make sure you have chosen the less than or equal symbol. Then, for the constraint field, select cell B7, which is the total labor hours available, and then click on Add. This ensures the total labor hours used do not exceed the available 250 hours. Similarly, we need to add more constraints. Let's do that. First, for the minimum product constraints. In the cell reference field, select cell B15. From the next field, click the drop-down, and this time select the greater than or equal symbol. And for the constraint field, type 1, and then click Add. Let's repeat the same for cell B16. In the cell reference field, select cell B16. From the next field, select greater than or equal symbol, and in the constraint field, type 1, and then click on Add. This ensures we produce at least one of each bike type. Next, for the integer constraints, in cell reference field, select cell B15. In the next field, click on the drop-down, and this time select INT, and then click on Add. Repeat the same for cell B16. In the cell reference field, select cell B16. In the next field drop-down, select INT, and then click Add. This ensures we produce whole bikes, not fractions. Finally, for the material constraint, in the cell reference field, select cell B12. This is the total material used. For the next field, select the drop-down and choose less than or equal symbol. And for the constraint field, select cell B8, which is the total material available. This ensures the total material used does not exceed the available 380 kg. Click OK. Now back in the Solver Parameters dialog box, at the very bottom, click Solve. Solver Results dialog box appears, giving us the solver solution. Make sure Keep Solver Solution is selected and then click on OK. That's it. Solver tool found the best production mix that maximizes profit while staying within labor and material limits. Now let's explore the final method. In the third method, we will analyze how interest rates and time periods affect savings using the FV function and the data tables tool. FV function returns the future value of an investment based on periodic, constant payments and a constant interest rate. In this method, we will be working on two types of variable scenarios. First one with one variable scenario and the second one with two variable scenario. Here's how to do it. First, let's set up the retirement model and create a one variable data table. In a helper cell of your choice, like cell B5, type this formula, equals FV. For the first argument, select cell B3, which is the annual interest rate used to grow the investment, comma, for the second argument, select cell B4, which is the number of years the contribution will be made, comma, for the third argument, type minus, and select cell B2. Cell B2 represents annual contribution and the negative sign indicates the money is being paid out or invested each year, comma, for the fourth argument, type 0, meaning there is no initial investment, comma, and finally for the fifth argument, type 1, which tells Excel each annual contribution is made at the beginning of the period. Altogether, this formula calculates the total value of the retirement fund after the specified years based on the annual contributions from cell B2 grown using the annual interest rate in cell B3, with payments made at the start of each year. With that explained, close the bracket and press enter. This calculates the final retirement fund. Let's format the cell. Click on cell B5. In the Home tab, head to the Number section, click the drop-down and select Accounting. Double-click the line between the column header. Now here, from cell D2 to D9, I have set up a list of interest rates ranging from 3% to 10%. Next, click cell E2 or any empty cell and type equals cell B5. This will reference the retirement calculation. Press enter. Then select the range from cell D2 to E9. After that, head to the Data tab. In Forecast section, select What If Analysis and choose Data Table. This opens up Data Table dialog box. Leave the row input cell field empty, and for the column input cell field, select cell B3, which is the annual interest rate, and then press enter. Excel populates the table showing how different interest rates affect the retirement fund. To format the values, select the range of cells from cell E2 to E9. Then head to the Home tab. In Number section, click the drop-down and select Accounting. And that's done. Now let's expand this to a two-variable data table using the same retirement model. For the two-variable scenario, first, in any empty cell of your choice, like cell A7, select cell B5, which will reference to the retirement formula. Press enter. Next, from cell B7 to G7, I've set up the various loan terms in years, as well as from cell A8 to A15, I've listed the various interest rates from 3% to 10%. Now select the range from cell A7 to G15. Then go to the Data tab. In the Forecast section, select What If Analysis dropdown. From there, select Data Table. This opens up Data Table dialog box. For the row input cell field, select cell B4, which is the number of years. Next, for the column input cell field, select cell B3, which is the annual interest rate, and then click OK. To format all the values, select the range from cell B8 to G15. Then head to the Home tab. In the Number section, click the drop-down and select Accounting. Double-click the line between the column headers if you see any hash symbol. Just like that, the table now shows how both interest rates and time periods collectively impact retirement savings. And that's a wrap. 3 powerful methods for sensitivity analysis in Excel. Download the workbook link below. Visit excelinsider.com for more Excel and Google Sheet tutorials. Feel free to comment your questions and feedback. Thanks for watching.